Hello, Aida and Nafisa. This is our first podcast with AUBH with the community. So we want to share your knowledge with our students and the staff and faculty. And we are very happy that we have both of you here. Aida, early riser, entrepreneur, and Nafisa Jahrami, plastic cure, and a student at AUBH. So we are here today to hear both your stories of how you started the businesses and how you're doing. So I'll start with you, Aida. What inspired you to start your business?
It's a long story, but first of all, I want to thank you, Dr. Murjan and AUBH for inviting me. I'm so happy to be here. I'm going to try to keep my answer short, but it's a long story. I'm just going to try to condense it into a few sentences.
I'm sure it's very interesting, and we would love to hear it.
Thank you. So, I started Early Riser in 2020. It was during the pandemic. At the time, I was 6 months pregnant and I had a full-time job. I know it's not the ideal time to start anything, but I just really had extra time on my hands to explore what I always loved, which is health and wellness and food and providing healthier food for my family. So I started baking granolas at home, which has always been my husband and I's go-to breakfast. And we tried to be creative with the flavors. And he loved it. And I started really immediately sending them to my family and friends. And they were asking for more very quickly. So really, it was random that we started a business because it was on a really random morning. I pitched to my husband, let's just try selling this and seeing how it goes. But initially it wasn't planned as a business. Initially it was planned just to pass time during COVID. And
this was on, did you start on Instagram?
Yes.
And with your friends and family?
It was just myself and my husband. So
right, but I mean offering it to
yes.
friends and family.
Yes.
Okay.
So naturally, for the first month, I only got orders from family and friends. And then the next month, I got orders from people we don't know. So it was really exciting. And the third month, I think people were talking and we got new customers that we really don't know. And that was the exciting part of
where did the name come from?
So Early Riser, we are early risers. Myself and my husband, we are early risers. We wake up at 5. We get our workout done. We love running mostly.
Okay.
So we go out for a run. We love watching the sunrise. I know it's...
I know.
I think once you really get into it, you'll know what a difference it makes to your day. So it was an easy pick. I think when we started the Instagram page, we knew it will be about all things breakfast. And Early Riser, we wanted our we wanted us in the name as well. So right. I think Early Riser really signifies us. So it was easy to pick the name.
Nice. We'll go to you, Nafisa.
Hello.
Tell us about your business.
Okay, so firstly, thank you for having me. I feel so honored to be in the first podcast episode to represent the students in the Entrepreneurship Week.
Lovely to have you.
Thank you. Okay, so my business is called Plastic Cure. I started it when I was in high school in July of 2019, so even before the pandemic. I always had an entrepreneurial mind, ever since a young age. This isn't my first business that I've started.
Okay.
But yeah, I started it because I've always had a passion for recycling and being all things eco-friendly, just to reduce pollution. And then I realized that Bahrain has lack of awareness on this topic about plastic pollution, and if there is any, it's very little and it's very costly to be on that lifestyle. So everything costs way more than it should be.
Right.
So I got this idea. I told my mom. She was like, go for it. My mom has always been my biggest supporter. She was like, go for it. So that's when I came up with the products that I want to sell.
So what is the idea?
Okay, the idea is basically a zero waste store that provides eco-friendly items to plastic alternatives to help you reduce your plastic usage and your waste.
So your products, you get them.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
import
yours is like just a store for these products.
Yeah.
But you make sure that the products are
High quality.
Yeah.
High quality, easy to use, and eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly.
Yeah.
Okay, and you started this in 2019.
Yeah.
You were still in high school.
I was in grade 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Aida, you said when you started this at home, you were still working. Okay, so you started, it picked up. What happened next?
So, I started, and for maybe the first year, I was still working. I used to work in Temkeen. So, like, probably 8 months in, it was still running as an Instagram page. We got more orders, so I moved. It was a home-based business, so I moved from my apartment to my mom's house. So it gives us a bit more capacity to produce more. After 8 months,
That was because you gave birth, not because you wanted a bigger place.
both.
Okay.
I think it was both. I think we were receiving more orders, and my oven is too small to produce that much. And secondly, yes, I did give birth, and I stayed at my mom's, so it made more sense to produce more. And then we added a nut butter line. This is, I think, when it turned from a business that I was running to a family business.
Okay. So who got in with you?
My 2 younger brothers,
Okay.
Adil and Muhammad.
Okay.
So granola was, I used to make all the granolas, but my husband manages like the branding and marketing part of it.
That's what I was going to ask you next, was when you started the idea, did you immediately go for branding and the logo and the name, or it came afterwards?
No, I think that's the first thing that we thought of. So
Okay. Why?
I think it's important to, even though it was a home-based business and I had no idea that it will move out of that, but it was really important. I think given that both myself and my husband at that time, we've worked with businesses before, we know that it's very important to have a catchy name, to have a good branding, because if the branding doesn't look good, people will not pick that up and want to try it. So even though the product is good, like the ingredients are premium, we don't use like any refined sugars and all of that, people who know ingredients will pick that up, maybe even if it doesn't look good. But we knew that name and branding and all of that is what will make people pick a product.
That's very interesting. So can we say that because you had worked and you were in the professional sector, and you were working with businesses and all that, that it actually helped you structure your business?
100%.
So do you think if you had not been experienced and all that, would it have started correctly? I'm just saying that, so I want to make the connection for the students that want to become entrepreneurs to think about these things. So did that help?
100%.
Okay.
I think I owe everything that I am able to do now to my previous experience. So
Okay.
I owe it to, I started in a business consultancy firm in Vanguard. I think I owe a lot to that, and then moving to Temkeen, to Export Bahrain. I think that all added up to be able to do the job now. That's, I think, experience. I would always advise to anyone who's starting, gain the experience in any field that you are in or specialized in, and then I think that'll give you more insight in terms of what you want to do, how you should run it, learning, I think,
True.
You'll be mature enough to actually maybe make less mistakes. We all make mistakes regardless of
course.
how much experience we had, because we've never run a business before, but I think you'll make less mistakes. Let's put it that way.
Nafisa,
Yeah.
you started your business in 2019 and you were in high school, okay? Did you have a brand? Did you have a logo for it?
Okay, so I created a logo that was very basic.
Okay.
And then once I started and like my account picked up and gained followers, I was actually approached by a designer who was just starting out. So he actually told me like, I would do your logo for you like free of charge, but like just to add it to my portfolio. I was like, sure, go ahead. Like I didn't have anything to lose. And honestly, he did such a great job, and I still use the logo itself. Yeah.
So collaboration.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So like he helped me, I helped him.
Absolutely. Perfect. Yeah. And you said you sell on Instagram,
Yeah.
right? So you don't actually have a shop,
No.
physical shop.
No physical shop.
Okay.
Maybe in the future, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay. What were some of the we'll not say obstacles, we'll say challenges that came across?
At the start, I think we get like the challenges develop as we go. But
Yeah.
you mean when we first started?
Yeah, I mean, when you started, what were the challenges, and how did you work along with that?
Yeah. I think, of course, initially when we started, it was just educating people that there's, there's a new player in the market, because like everything that is available in supermarkets is imported from European or like America and countries like that. So it's like educating people that there's a Bahraini business. I think one of the a challenge is competing. Once we got into supermarkets, we were competing with big names like Kellogg's and others.
Exactly.
So that was a challenge. But I think we focused a lot on marketing, and we use social media mostly, and collaborations, and getting close
So
to
your
the
marketing
community.
was through the social media.
Social media, yes, but also I think we do things that large companies cannot do, like community building exercises. We have a
Lovely.
running club. We have events that we conduct. So we try to be close to our community. And I think that's something that large companies can't do. And something that a lot of people don't know, these large companies that they don't produce their products themselves. They outsource all their production to a co-packer. There's like large manufacturing organizations that produce probably to
mass production.
Yeah, mass production to 3 or 4 of the brands that you see in the supermarkets. A strength of ours is that if we produce something ourselves, you can launch things quicker. So seasonal flavors, you have more control in terms of what you can do. And yeah, I think this was
So can we say, because sometimes people come and say, oh, it's a small market, we don't have a chance. So you can say that actually the small market was to your advantage.
Yes.
Because you went to the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And because you had activities with the community, it made you closer to them,
Yes.
for them to see what you're doing.
Yes.
And how good it is.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we can always say, that's just an excuse if
Yes.
someone says it's a small market.
I think that's definitely an advantage. It works in our advantage. I think in a small market like Bahrain, it's a really good launch pad. It's a really good place to start a business, launch a business, make mistakes, learn from your mistakes. You can be closer to the community more than bigger countries, for sure.
Right.
So I think we need to take advantage of that.
Lovely. Nafisa, tell me, so how did that help you? Did the small community?
I would say yes, like to an extent, definitely. Like even though our business models are like so much different.
Yes.
But like in sense of community, I was able to have so many people join in the way of like being more eco-friendly together. So like it was making them feel like a sense, like they're in a sense of community, that we're changing our lifestyle to be more eco-friendly and more aware of the environment. So yeah, I do agree.
Did you educate yourself first
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah,
and then
definitely.
started doing awareness
Yeah, so
of what you're doing?
yeah, so definitely I read so many articles. I still do. I follow so many influencers who are like all about like being zero waste and having a more healthy lifestyle, not even in terms of like your plastic waste, but even in your wellness and the food you take, your exercise. I think it's all part of sustainability, and what I do is a very small part of it. So like I'm so aware about the SDGs. I attend conferences, I read articles, and even my business is not just a store. I even like post like pictures and like articles.
Awareness on social
basically.
media.
So it's a business and an awareness page.
So we can say you actually walk the talk. You just
Yeah.
don't say it. You
Yeah.
actually do it, and you want to get the awareness across
True.
to other
That's
people.
my goal at the end of the day, is just people being more aware of their plastic usage. And
Lovely.
how-
Let's talk about passion. Passion and business. Do you say that it was your passion that started all of this?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I love it so much. Like till today, it doesn't feel like work, you know? I think that's what, I've always, when I used to work, I was saying, what is my purpose? I think this is my purpose. I think this is what I'm supposed to do. And I think when you know what you're supposed to do, like everything in life aligns and makes it happen. And passion and really wanting to make a change beyond just making a business that makes money, but it's making a change, educating people in ways that maybe, for example, for us, it's like the ingredients that we use and be just like I think what Nafisa says, we're part of a healthy lifestyle, and that's one part. But there's other parts, like you have healthy relationships around you, you sleep well, you move every day, I think you work in a career that you love every day. I think that's all part of like healthy lifestyle, and we're playing a part of it. But we're also trying to educate people that you have to focus on all of these pillars as well. But I think just going back to your question, sorry, I kind of diverted.
No, that's the passion behind it.
But yeah, I think because I had that passion, I enrolled into a health coaching program, and then I got health coaching program, and then I want to learn more. I learn more, not for me. I think learn more so I can even give back.
And is it because when you learn more, you become more innovative also?
For sure.
Because you can't you started with one product, but now mashallah, you have so many and so many different ones, so many different flavors. Because if you don't do that, then you will be out of the market soon, right? But if you have the passion and you keep learning,
right,
you keep coming up with new ideas.
For sure, education is power at the end of the day.
Yeah. Nafisa, so you started your business in 2019. You were in high school.
Yeah.
Okay. And it picked up. But you graduated and you came to college.
Yeah.
So why do you think that you needed to come to college?
Okay, so I mean, a part of coming to college is getting a degree, obviously, but I study finance, so I'm still in the business field. Like, I'm really passionate about like business and everything that comes with it, and like choosing AUBH specifically because it's the type of university where you grow, not only learn. So college, because like it's true, like I have a business and stuff like that, but I also want to get industry experience. As Aida said, it's really important to get experience in markets and consultancy, whether it's any company, because what I want to do and like the businesses that I want to start in the future, I need to get the experience from the industry first to be able to achieve those.
Nice. So education is important.
Education is very important in my opinion.
Okay. Aida, we talked about passion, consistency. So it's not like, okay, I have a passion, I want to do something, let me go and do a business, right? Or you see a business which is successful, oh, let me go and do it also, correct? You don't advise that.
I think you have to have the passion.
Mm-hmm.
You have to study the market because passion alone is not enough. For us, we found out, so when we did our research, we found out like in the granola category, 95% of the options utilize unhealthy ingredients, and it's labeled high in fiber and high in nutrients and vitamins and all of that. But when you look at the ingredients, it has white sugar, inflammatory oils, and really ingredients you cannot pronounce. The same with the nut butter category. It has saturated fats, emulsifiers, preservatives that are not really necessary. And we found out, like in the nut butter category, 90% of the nut butters is plain peanut butter. So we knew that there are two aspects we can compete with, which is the ingredients. So our granolas are gluten-free, refined sugar-free, all our products are. We don't use any preservatives, any emulsifiers, anything that you shouldn't really consume. Secondly, with the nut butters, we try to create unique flavors that cannot be found anywhere in the world. So anywhere in the world, you cannot find a pina colada nut butter, for example. And recently we had a collaboration with Mahmoud Janahi. He created a salted caramel butter. The previous month, we worked with Arij in the kitchen. We created a mango and saffron, flavored nut butter. So I think we're competing with flavor and ingredients. So definitely, it's not just passion, studying the market, understanding that there's a gap, and where you can build your strength.
Lovely. Okay. And collaboration, you think, is very key, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, okay, I this is my passion, I know it all, I'll just do it by myself.
Yeah. No.
Right?
Yeah, we definitely don't know it all.
Yes.
And it's okay to ask for help, to gain, to listen to other people's opinions, to see what other people, I think, if you put more brains together, you can create magic.
Absolutely.
So
that's where innovation happens.
Exactly. So we're all for working with other people.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Nafisa, how about you? So what do you do? Do you have anybody else with you in the business? Is anybody else helping you? Are you collaborating with anyone?
Okay, so it's just me. No one's helping me.
Okay.
In terms of collaboration, at the moment, not really. I haven't had any proper collaboration with anyone. It's just that I don't know. I didn't see the opportunity with anyone or something like that. But definitely for the future, it's something to consider and something to do for sure.
Okay. Do you think your education and the studies is like an obstacle to your entrepreneurship?
Okay, so to be honest, once I started university, I kind of did slow down on the business. I became more inactive. Even though I was accepting orders and everything, but in terms of marketing, my marketing was really good, especially during COVID. But after starting university, because of the workload and the studies, so I was I kind of did drift away, but I always see myself coming back to it. And right now, I'm coming back to it more.
So can we say that you have to put priorities to
Definitely,
what is important at every stage in life?
Yes.
So yes, you want to be an entrepreneur, but right now your education is more important
Definitely.
than the business itself. Lovely, beautiful. Aida, what advices do you have for someone who wants to go into a business?
It's definitely looking at what you love to do. So it's not going into it for the money alone, because it will not work. I think you need to look at what you're good at, where your passions lie, understanding what the market needs, and then you could venture into it. And I think there's, in Bahrain, I think we're fortunate to have options like virtual CRs, which allowed us to start from home. So you can test different business models this way. I think this is something that other countries don't have. So we're very fortunate to have that as an initiative from the Ministry of Industry and Commerce.
Right.
And I think just go and try it. There's no harm, no harm. And we're scaling slowly. So you don't have to start a business all out and put that much money in it. Just we started with 400 BD, and I think we really didn't expect to be where we are today. So we are in all supermarkets, almost all supermarkets, over 60 branches, working with cafes. We're working on other product lines. We're working to export. We're expanding our team.
You reminded me of something, Aida, when you mentioned this. You said you are hands-on in your business. You said that you go cold store to cold store by yourself and try to market your product, right?
Yeah.
And distribute your product.
Yes.
So one has to be hands-on, right? It's not like, oh, I'm passionate about this. I want to be an entrepreneur. I'll start a business and then push it over to someone else to run it.
Yeah.
What do you say about that?
Yeah, I think that's not how it works. It's you really in the beginning. So for the first 2 years, myself and the entire team. So my husband and my 2 brothers. There are days when we produce in the kitchen, we seal and pack, we try to communicate with supermarkets, we go and deliver, and we go shelf. So and at the same time you're putting things on social media. So you're working on 7 things at the same time. We get to a stage where this is not sustainable. So like mid this year, no, it wasn't sustainable. So I needed my time needed to be focused on business development and marketing. So
Sure.
I delegated the production to someone else. We have a team dedicated for that. We have a team dedicated for accounting. We have a team dedicated for marketing and branding. So my time is now focused on, but that took around 2 or almost 2.5 years, over 2 years, for me to be able to let go of certain aspects. But of course, I need to oversee some things. But trust the team that the job will be done.
Okay.
You know. But yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, I think I'll end it with this question. I'll ask Nafisa first. How do you stay motivated, and where do you see your long-term goals?
Okay, so it's a really good question, because sometimes like you can see yourself drifting away and like losing motivation. But I think like again, it just comes back to passion. If you're really passionate about something, you always find yourself like getting the motivation to get back at it and keep working on it, even if you like stopped it for a while. So that's where I think motivation comes in.
Okay.
What was the other
where do you see your long-term goals?
Okay. My long-term goals for the business, I definitely want to expand more and maybe like have my own little shop. But for me personally, like I want to graduate and then get experience in the industry and just explore more of my passions while doing plastic care as well.
So you still think that you need to go and work
Definitely.
and then start
for sure.
business? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Aida, what keeps you motivated?
It's definitely our customers.
Okay.
I think once you hear the feedback, see the change, Bahrain as a whole, I think Bahrain has a lot of locally produced products that, just needs to be, people need to give them a chance. Okay. So I do want to show what Bahrain has to offer. My family, I think, and just the idea of making a change. I think while our platform is growing, we have a bigger voice. We can reach more people. So I think that's our motivation, is making and doing a change. I think that's what motivates.
Do you see your goals going out of Bahrain and reaching more markets?
Yes, 100%. So our goal now, or our focus, is definitely exporting. I think we have a bit to do in Bahrain, probably by end of the year. But we are hoping to, inshallah, export by next year, starting with Saudi and maybe neighboring countries, and hopefully expand our product line. So we're looking at other categories outside of granolas and nut butters that don't really have healthier alternatives. So we do want a Bahraini local flavored, freshly made product to, you know, compete with bigger brands, but also to be innovative. So we're not copying or producing something that's been done.
So putting a Bahraini granola out there in the world.
Yes, yes. So yeah, we do have Agali granola.
Yes,
I think you
yeah.
can't find that anywhere.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely.
Well, all the best for that, and all the best for you, Nafisa. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this. I'm sure our students, staff, and faculty will really enjoy hearing your stories. And hopefully they will benefit also from a lot of from the experience that you all had and what you went through. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
our
Of course.
first
Thank you
guest.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.